Hi guys, welcome back. Last time I made plates and mugs, so let's take them on a picnic. We'll need to make a basket first to carry them. Grab some thick chipboard left over from recycled packaging. If you don't have any, just glue several layers of thin cardstock together. Cut 2 pieces of 38mm by 44mm, 4 pieces of 10mm by 38mm, and 4 pieces of 10mm by 46mm. Split the pile into two to make the two halves of the basket. With the small pieces of masking tape and tacky glue, attach the skinny pieces around the edges of the larger rectangle piece. The masking tape both holds the pieces in place while the glue dries and adds extra strength. Make sure you attach the 46mm long pieces and leave a 1mm allowance on each end to butt up against the shorter sides. You'll end up with 2 open boxes or trays at this stage. These form the basic shape for the picnic basket. Take a square of Hessian and a bunch of bulldog clips or clothes pegs if you don't have any small clamps, and glue the bottom of each box to the Hessian with fabric glue. Snip in line with the corners using sharp scissors. Now glue the sides of the Hessian to the sides of the box and clamp it down well. Once the glue is dry, trim off all the excess Hessian. Cut it as close to the edges of the box as you can without exposing the box. Now add some fabric glue to each of the side seams to keep them tidy and well secured. I'm going to line my picnic basket, starting with using the basket to measure out a bottom piece. Cut the corners off on the diagonal and glue it into the box. Try to get the lining as smooth as possible. I'll add the side strips next. Here is a do as I say and not as I do moment. Make sure the side strips you use are long enough to go all the way around the inside of the basket. Mine were too short here. Use your fabric or tacky glue to fold over one long edge to hem it. The folded edge will be going inside the basket and the raw edge will be sticking out the top for trimming later. Glue the strip in with the hemmed edge at the bottom and the smooth tidy side facing into the basket. You can see here how I'm having to add an extra piece because I was clever enough to cut my side strips too short. Again, you want to have the lining nice and smooth. Clamp it all down to dry. Make the basket edging by braiding some thin twine and coating it with glue. The glue holds the braid together even after you cut it. Trim off the excess lining fabric so it's even with the Hessian covered box. Now glue the braid to the top edge of each box with contact adhesive. Start at the middle of one side and then glue it down a section at a time. Keep the braid as flat as possible. Try to not sit your basket in the glue while you're doing this. Trim off the excess braid with sharp scissors. Now we have the two halves of the picnic basket made, let's add some dividers to one half. The position of the dividers is completely up to you, or you could leave them out if you want. I like a good compartment, so I'm adding them in. Take strips of 10mm wide chipboard and cover them with fabric. If any of your divider strips end up being too long, they're easy enough to trim with scissors later when they're dry. But in the meantime, while the divider strips are drying, take some thin strips of leather or vinyl and glue them around both halves of the picnic basket, meeting at the front edge. I used contact adhesive to stick it on. Now using tacky glue, glue some nail art studs on the leather straps. Trim one end of the leather straps level with just under the braid and add a point to the other ends. Add some rectangle nail studs for tiny buckles on the ends of the shorter straps. Then glue on a short piece of leather strap with contact adhesive for a handle between the buckles. Add a tiny caviar bead on each end of the handle. On the inside of the basket, I'm using thin brown cardstock to reinforce the hinges. It's better to wait until the glue is dry to trim off the extra cardstock. Right, back to the dividers. Glue the fabric to the other side and trim off the fabric. Glue the dividers into place with contact adhesive. The mugs fit nice and snugly. Now to make a holder for the plates. Using the same leather straps, make a cross that is wide enough to hold the plates down. Glue the straps together with a dot of contact adhesive and then add a nail art stud on top with tacky glue. What you can see me doing here is gluing in a small square of a double layer of chipboard covered in fabric. It'll help keep the plate secure. I'll show you a close-up of it soon so you can see it better. Position the plates and glue the ends of the leather cross onto the basket with contact adhesive. This will hold the plates in place, but you'll still be able to take them out when you want to. Add some caviar beads to the ends. Here's a close-up of the little support block I added earlier. The basket is made, but it needs a thermos flask, so cut a 2 cm wide strip of construction paper and wrap it snugly around a pen a few times. Glue the end down and slip it off when dry. Take a paper binder and a pony bead and paint them both silver. These are going to make the top of the thermos. I am loving these paint pens my not so little monsters gave me. They're so handy. Take your construction paper tube and super glue it to some chipboard. Paint the tube to match your picnic set. I added some extra rolled up paper inside my tube and super glued it in for added strength. Then I ran a silver pen around the very top just inside the tube. When it's all dry, trim off the chipboard around the bottom. Cut off the long prongs from the paper binder. Glue the pony bead just inside the top of the tube with super glue, and then glue the paper binder onto the top of the pony bead. Paint the bottom of the flask silver. Grab a piece from a disposable aluminium pie pan and fold it in a straight line. I used the edge of a ruler to do this. Add some super glue between the layers. Now cut a 2mm wide strip for the handle of the thermos. From the remaining metal, cut 2 of the thinnest straight strips you can manage. These are going to be the trim around the thermos. I used a tiny amount of contact adhesive to stick down just the very start of the trim strips at the top and the bottom of the flask tube. Once it was holding, then I used super glue to stick the rest of the tin strips down. It's really important not to use excessive glue here. You better believe I have my best concentration face on while doing this. Grab that 2mm strip from before and use the edge of a ruler to make clean right angle bends to form the handle. I'll put the measurements up shortly. Stick one end of the handle into either masking tape or blue tack and add a layer of wood glue to the top of the handle for added dimension. This is what the dimensions are and what it looks like with the dried glue. Give the tube a couple of coats of Mod Podge Dimensional Magic. Paint the long part of the handle black. When I saw dry glue on the handle with super glue. And it's done. How cute is that? Let's take a look at the finished results. All they need is some yummy food and they're ready to go. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new uploads, and leave a comment because I'd love to hear from you. It really helps my channel to grow. If you want to share your own crafty ideas and projects, join my Facebook page called Nessie Monster Crafts. And we have Fun Day Fridays where we can all show off our latest works in progress. If you can afford it, please consider buying me a coffee. Links for both my Facebook group and coffee account are in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!